What's up, guys? As you've seen, we got the van back into the shop. It has been a minute, and we finally got some parts coming in for it. So I got the motor and trans yanked out of it, got them laying here, got them separated. Gonna try and get this thing up on this engine stand here and just go over it real quick and check everything out before I reassemble it. But other than that, I'm gonna go and get the whole harness, ECU, fuse box, everything cleaned up out of this thing, get it pressure washed and potentially paint it. Just kind of want to clean everything up, make this thing look like the build I always wanted it to be. So besides for that, we got a lot of parts that came in for the van. I'm excited to show y'all, but first things first, let's get this thing on the stand. So it's been a couple days and I got the engine on a stand. I ain't done much with it since then, but I did get all the wiring, fuse box, ECU, everything out of the engine bay. Got the wheels back on it, van's on the ground. Got a pile of shit I yanked out of this thing, so we're gonna get this thing pushed outside, try and pressure wash it. I got about 2 hours before I gotta leave for work, so just trying to do a little bit here and there when I can, when I got the time. Unfortunately, it sucks, slow going, but we're getting it slowly but surely. So yeah, let's get this thing cleaned up and get it prepped for paint. It ain't gonna be the greatest paint job, but it'll look a lot better and whatever we got going on in here right now. So first order of business, since that, we gotta move Charles' truck. Hey y'all, what's up? It's been about a day or two since I was messing with the van. I got a day off work, so went ahead and scuffed up the engine bay a little bit. Just the real bad spots mainly, nothing crazy. But yeah, other than that, it's gonna dry right now. So I laid out most of the parts that I have. Still missing a few things. Got a couple of little things that's not really that important. But other than that, let's go ahead and go over what we got laid out right here. Alright, we're back on the old trusty G7X because the Nikon keeps overheating for some reason. I don't know why, but bear with me if the focus is a little slow. We're going to try and run through this though again. First things first, we got a new turbo going on the van here. Force Performance 6875. This thing is actually unreleased, untested. It's not even on the website yet, so huge shout out to Robert for getting this thing over to me. And I cannot wait to put this thing through its paces and actually get some data on it. Next up, we actually have JMF's new intake manifold with the billet runner and the O-ring styled flange. This thing is sick. Cannot wait to get this thing put on. I actually had their old manifold and it was great, but it was the gasketed style. And I kind of just wanted to switch it up to this new O-ring stuff. It's got some nice fuel rail brackets and all the hardware and stuff you need, so this is a really good investment in my eyes. I was just using some stuff I cut up to make work, so trying to step our game up a little bit. Next up, we have Specs triple disc clutch. This is their highest rated clutch. It's like 1,200 foot-pound, I believe. Granted, the van will probably never make that, but that rating is for a Neon, and the van's like 3,800 pounds. So we kind of got to overshoot a lot of the ratings to get this thing to hook up and go without burning the clutch up. So huge shout out to Spec for coming on board with this. As a matter of fact, JMF, Force Performance, Spec, and Fuel Lab, which we will be getting to here in just a second, all hooked it up with a discount. And I cannot thank them enough, because without them, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I am broke, and I guess they just see a little bit of the dream that I see, and they're willing to come on board and help us out and see if we can't make something happen. So huge shout out to you guys, and I really appreciate you. Thank you, and hopefully we can make something happen with all these parts we got. Moving along, we got FIC fuel injector Clinic 2150s. These things are a work of art. Nigel from Brutal Speed and Tuning actually hooked it up with these, got me a deal, and shipped them right on over. These things apparently have like the best drivability and idle you can get for such a big injector, so believe he runs these on all his higher horsepower cars, and I can't wait to get them in the van. Next up, we actually have these little things here. And they might not look like much or anything fancy because they're actually just stock map and tip sensor housings. But Robert Sparta busts these boys open and converts them over to 4-bar sensors so you can use your factory harness connectors and all that. Ain't got a splice or do no wild stuff to your harness, which we'll be getting to in just a second. Real Tune 625. This is never going to focus, so I'm not even going to try. I'm going to be honest with you. Baddest head studs on the market in my opinion, so we're going to put these in for insurance. Now moving back over to the harness that I just mentioned, this is the Kinetic Creation swap harness. It doesn't matter what vehicle you have, whether it's a minivan, a monster truck, a Volkswagen Beetle, it will run a Neon motor in any chassis. So if you're looking to do a swap, this thing will simplify that 10 times over. From Lord, check that out. That is all the wiring that I ripped out of the van just to get it running. That's a nightmare. It's a headache. I had all kinds of wiring issues. So to say I'm excited to run this harness and just not have any more electrical issues, man, I'm ecstatic, to be honest with you. So check out Kinetic Creations. I did not get a deal on this thing. I paid full price. But you just cannot beat the quality for the money. And last but not least, you know the deal. Fuel Lab coming in clutch with all the goodies. I will say these here are gifts for Will and Charles. They don't know about them yet, but I picked them up some regulators. Charles, I was going to get 3 gold regulators for us, but Charles actually wanted a purple fuel filter. There's my gold one for the van. But so I changed the order last minute and picked him up a purple one. Should surprise him. These are 10 AN. So they're pretty big dog stuff compared to the 6 AN stuff we've been using. A lot of these are just fittings and stuff like that to adapt. As you've seen the filters there, we got a lot of stuff going on in here, the brackets and stuff. The van's actually going on a Prodigy fuel pump. This thing is an 1800 horsepower pump. I'll bust it out here in just a second. They actually offered it in a color, so I might bust it out right now. Ugh. Alright, let's check this unit out. Oh man, pump hangers. Dog. That's a pump right there, boys. So as you see, this is an inline fuel pump. We will be switching the van over to a fuel cell. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to try and figure it out. Like I said, we've been winging this whole project since day one. And we've gotten pretty far with it. We're just learning as we go. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I've learned a lot. So, look at us. I mean, 2 years ago, we didn't know what in the world we was doing, and here we are still not knowing what we're doing, but we got all these sick ass parts and these companies on board with us, and man, progression. Hey y'all, me and Levi just got this van all taped up, masked off. We're gonna try out these Rust-Oleum turbo cans. Give her a whirl, see what this do. Hell yeah. Whole firewall done, one spray. So 2 turbo cans later and a couple cans of clear, this is what we're left with. We got a pretty wide engine bay. Turned out decent. I'm happy with it per se. Could have been better, could have been a lot worse. So I think it looks great contrasting against the blue. And if you kind of picture the motor in there with the turbo and some gold accents, I think it's going to look just fine. So other than that, I've kind of struggled filming this video. I ain't going to lie. Kind of been a little all over the place with work and here and Charles' truck, just bouncing back and forth between videos and everywhere. So just going to go ahead and end this video off here. Hopefully we got something worth a dang. Huge shout out to all the companies I mentioned in this video earlier. And other than that, we're going to go ahead and take the slicks off this thing, push this thing out and let it cure outside in the sun all day. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and pull another car in, so be on the lookout for that video. I think I got an interesting one coming up. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video off here. Y'all know the deal. Like, share, subscribe. It really helps us out in the algorithm, and we are trying to grow, so every little bit helps. I really appreciate it. Till next time. Peace.